students, and welcome in the online session of Class 8th Science. Chapter is Cell, Structure and Function. Students, today we are starting the new chapter, Cell. So, in this session, we are going to cover the introductory part of the cell, then the discovery of cell, and the types of organism based on the number of cells present in their body. So, let's start with the first introductory part. So here on the slide you can see a flow chart, right? On the topmost side a cell is written here and on the lowermost side organism is written here. Okay. So if you see this flow chart can be explained in both the ways. If I start from top, so a cell is the basic unit of the human body or any other living body. Okay, cell is the basic unit. Cell is the basic unit, right? Then a group of cells form the tissues, a group of tissues form the organs, a group of organs form the organ system, and a group of organ system forms the organism, right? Now, when we are saying cell as the basic unit of life, so cell is the very small structure, small structures are there which make the complete body of the living organism. Now, when the cells get grouped together, they form a mass like structure. Okay, and this group is now known as a tissue. Now, these tissues you have studied, might be have heard about the names of the tissues, like in plant body also there are many types of tissues. There are simple tissues, complex tissues. In human body also there are various types of tissues, the muscular tissues, connective tissues, right? So there are many types of tissues. Then when the tissues group together they form the organs. Okay, so which are our organs? We have internal organs, external organs, heart, liver, kidney, stomach. They all are organs and they all are made up of tissues, right? And tissues are made up of cells. Now, when various organs work together, they make the organ system. Like digestive system is present in our body. So, in the digestive system, which organs are working, students? It is mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Okay. So, when many of the organs work together, they form the organ system. And in our body, there are many organ systems like digestive system, excretory system, respiratory system. So, when different organ systems work together, they make the body of the organism, right? And if you see now in the reverse order, that organism is made up of organ systems are made up of organs are made by tissues, and tissues are made up of cells, right? So, in both the ways, you can explain this flow chart. Okay, but the basic thing to remember here is that cell is the main part. Cell is the smallest part of a living body. Okay, complete body is made up of cells. Cells then make tissues, tissues make organs, organ make organ systems, and organ system makes finally the organism. Okay, now let's see actually what the cell is. Now cell is the building block of our life, right? Like suppose there's a building, this is a wall suppose of the building, and you can see here that there are bricks are used to make the walls, right? So these bricks are what, children? These bricks are the building blocks. Means this is one block, right? This is one brick or called one block, and this one block or one brick has made, along with the other bricks, has made the complete building. Okay, so in the same way, when the cells group together, they make the complete living body. And that's why cell is called the building block of our life. Now, the exact definition for cell is that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Okay. Now, let us understand this definition, why we are calling cell as a structural and functional unit. Students, now why, let us see both the words differently. Why we call cell as structural? Because it forms the organism. It forms the complete structure of the organism. The complete body of the organism is made up of cell. So the complete structure is made of cell. That's why cell is the structural unit, right? Now, why we are calling it as functional? We call it as functional because a single cell can perform all the functions of the body. A single cell can do nutrition, a single cell can do digestion, a single cell can do respiration, a single cell can do excretion, and rest of the a single cell can do transportation also. So a cell can do all these functions. That's why cell is called the functional unit. Okay, so when both the processes combine together, we call it as that cell is the structural and functional unit of the life. Fine. This reason you must know. Why structural? Because it makes the complete body. Why functional? Because it performs all the functions. Okay. Now, let us discuss about the discovery of the cell. How the cell has discovered, who has discovered the cell, right? So, cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke is the name of the scientist who has discovered the cell, and he discovered the cell in 1665. Okay, now you can see that how much long the technology is. At that time, also scientists were working and finding so many new discoveries. Okay, so he founded it in 1665. Now, what he did, how he, from where he observed, from where he found the cell. So, what he did, children, while doing one of the experiment, he chose the cells of the cork, right? Cork is the cells, the dead cells of the plants. Cork is the dead cell of the plant. This is suppose the trunk. So, you might have seen dark brown colored flakes present on the trunk of the plant, right? And they can be removed like this. These are the dead cell of the plant. So these cells are called cork cells. So what he did, Robert Hooke watched or observed these cork cells under the microscope. So at that time he was not having very new technological microscope. So he had only a simple primitive microscope, means very old type of microscope he was having. So in that only he observed the cork cells. But students, what he saw was very shocking. So when he saw the cells of the cork under a microscope, he found a honeycomb like structure in it. Okay, you all know what is honeycomb? Yes, this is the house made by the honeybees, right? So in the honeycomb, you might have seen such type of small compartments are present. If you have observed very properly, then you'll see that there are small compartments present in the honeycomb, right? And these compartments, these small separate rooms, he named as cell. He named these small compartments as cell. Okay. So these tiny compartments which he saw in the honeycomb like structure in the cells of the cork, actually they were the cells of the cork, but they look like honeycomb, and so each compartment he named as cell. Fine. Now, this is the picture of Robert Hooke. This is the picture of the primitive microscope he used. And this is the honeycomb structure which he saw under the microscope. Now, here you can see that actually it is looking like a honeycomb only. And you can see there are very small room-like structures are there. So, this small structure is now known as cell. This is a single cell, students. And now you can see there are so many cells present in the microscope shown here, right? So this type of structure he saw in the microscope, and each compartment he named as cell. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic, that is types of organisms on the basis of number of cells. Okay, so we can divide the organism into two types according to the number of cells present in their body. Okay, so first is unicellular. Unicellular means uni means one and multi means many. Fine. So unicellular means when the organism has one cell in its body, then it is called unicellular. A very good example is amoeba, students. Okay, amoeba you all know, it is a irregular shaped animal, right? And there is a nucleus at the center. Okay. Now this is the amoeba. This is amoeba. Now this is the complete body of amoeba, and you will be surprised to know that this is one cell only. So when the organism has only one cell in the body, it is called unicellular. That means amoeba is a unicellular organism. Okay. Then what is the meaning of multicellular? Multicellular means when the organism has more than one cell. Means many cells when they are present, it is called multicellular. For example, animals, plants. Now, plants, such much huge structure they are, and a lot of cells are present in it. That's why it is multicellular. Now, suppose human body. Now, human body is made up of millions of cells. Okay, that's why we all are multicellular. Okay, so unicellular means having one cell in the body. Multicellular means organisms having more than two cells, or one cell means many cells. Then they are called as multicellular. Now, let's see a flowchart here. Now, organisms can be divided into unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means organisms that only have a single cell in their body. And what is multicellular, students? It is organisms having many cells in their body. So let's see the examples here. So first example in unicellular is of amoeba. So this is the single cell present in it. Then next you can see bacteria. Okay, now these bacteria, this is the single cell. So this is one bacteria. This is another bacteria, right? So their body also has one cell. That's why they are also known as unicellular organisms. Okay. Now this is another unicellular organism. Now how to pronounce it, children? It is paramecium. Okay, paramecium. So paramecium is also known as slipper shaped organism. You can see the shape of the body is like slippers. Slippers which we use at home. Okay, while walking, these are slippers which we use. So this shape is like slippers, so it is called slipper shaped organism, paramecium. Now this is also a single cell. It is one cell only. So these are the examples of unicellular organisms. Fine. Now in multicellulars, the examples are plants and animals. Fine. Plants have many cells in their body, and animals also. Animals, humans, they all have many cells in their body. That's why they are examples of multicellular organisms. Okay. Other examples also you can quote of your choice. Fine. So this was all about what we done today. Now what we did today, students, we studied about cell. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Structural because it makes the complete structure of the body. Why functional? Because a single cell can perform all the functions of the body. Okay. Then, who discovered cell? That is Robert Hooke, and the discovery was through the cork cells. He observed the cork cells under the microscope and he saw honeycomb-like compartments, which he named as cell. Okay, which he named as cell. Now, cells, how many number of cells are present in the body of the organism? On the basis of that, organisms can be divided into two. One is unicellular, another one is multicellular. So unicellular having one cell in their body, and multicellular means many cells in their body. Okay, so this we have done today. I hope you all have understood. Then we'll meet with the next topics in the next session only. Till then, all of you do watch, read your textbooks. Please complete your notebooks. All the writing work should be completed. Okay, so we'll meet in the next session. Till then, stay home and stay safe, all of you.